I would like to welcome everyone to the regular meeting of the Board of Park Ridge Board Members. The time is now 7:14. The date is Thursday, February 1st. May we please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May we please have a roll call?
Yes. Mike's on, sorry. We had them off before. Okay. Commissioner Bendy? Bo?
Here.
Grau? Here. Halting?
Here.
Duke? Here. Matza?
Here.
Tunnel?
Here. Would anyone like to amend, add, or delete an item to the current agenda? Is there any public comment on non-agenda items? I move to approve the minutes from the January 18th, 2024 regular board meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. On to the report of park officials. President does not have a report this time. Attorney is not here at this time, so I'll move it to Executive Director Mountcastle.
Thank you. I told Dirk there was no need for him to come tonight because of the subject matter. So just so you know that's why he is not here. I have a few quick general updates. I don't know, I don't think I gave all of you a report that weren't at conference about the county meeting. Quite interesting. I'll tell you the whole story another time, but it was very good meeting. There was about 15 directors that showed up, including myself, and I think that made an impact. There was other ones that couldn't get in, from what I heard from Cook County, so I think there's 22 total districts. And the long and short of it is that they are, there was an amendment that was crafted and put into the record, not when we were there, and then it's going to be on the February 29th committee meeting at the county to exclude school districts and park districts from the ordinance. And then I guess right after that committee meeting, then there'll be a board meeting where they're supposed to vote on it. Sounds like there's 9 votes right now of 18. So there's a lot in support, but there's also people that are not, obviously in support of the county passing this. Good news for us is the city of Park Ridge. We were there and they passed it unanimously to add us into their ordinance to exempt us from, or to opt out, I guess, of the requirements of the county, which they can do as a home rule district. So that was great. We appreciate the support of the city. It was for the Park District and Main Township 207, District 64 did not request it because of their boundary issues. Their headquarters are in Niles. So that is expected to go February 5th back to the City Council for final reading. So if all goes well, we should be exempt from this ordinance, which is, really, we're one of the few Cook County districts I know that there could be more, but the city that were included in that exemption at a city level, that their cities did that. So I'll find out from Dirk what we need to do after that, if we need to bring it back here and pass it, or if it's just a done deal. When we did the minimum wage, we didn't have to do anything else. We were just part of the city's home rule exemption. So there's that. That was great. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I was pretty persistent on that one. I know Maggie Trevor now, with who I didn't before, so I will continue to talk to her on all of our districts' behalf on a county level in the next couple weeks to make sure that they, don't change their minds or, anything happens with that. But anything can happen. So the other thing real quickly, we're going to do, we do have some community service awards that we're giving out at the next meeting. We get these from IPRA. It's IPRA IAPD program. You're allowed to apply for plaques, and so we are nominating some residents, and I'll send you the names. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, so I've been contacting those individuals as well. I was nominated as a community star. I'm sure you all saw that from the chamber, and Margaret as well. So we'll be at that banquet. I think it's on the 24th, if anybody wants to join us. Yes. I don't think And I don't think the invitations or like how to sign up has gone out. Yes, we've been at, I know Mary Beth and Margaret. Yeah. Come on, you are the, what are you?
Invite yourself.
You're the, heart and
of
soul of the,
chamber.
yeah, chamber. So,
Heart and soul.
well, we're adding the soul, right? Sounds good. And then lastly, we had another bid opening yesterday for the masonry. It was 120,000 under budget, so we're on a good roll. According to the architects, we're $2.3 million under. We have a big one coming up for electrical, plumbing, and some other things, and we've been told that after this one, we should be in pretty good, have a pretty good understanding of where we are and when we can start accepting alternates. So one of the things Terry had told me today, that, was that you that told me, or, yeah, about these schools? That the schools are not, there's not as much schoolwork as they originally thought, which surprises me because there's a lot of referendums and, so yeah, they're getting good bids, which is great. So, yep, hit the window. So that's all I have. I'd be happy to answer any questions. All right.
And on to Recreation, Commissioner Ledoux.
And I will pass it on to Recreation Superintendent April Armour.
Good evening. We have the apparel bid for 2024, and this includes all apparel that staff is prepared to order for the year, including camp shirts, staff shirts, camper shirts, facility shirts, etc. So we had the bid opening, I think, on the date of our last board meeting, and we're recommending Adwear and Specialty of Texas, and we have worked with them in the past and had a positive experience. Any questions?
Doesn't sound like anybody does. So I move to approve Adwear and Specialty of Texas Inc. as the lowest responsible bidder for the 2024 T-shirt and apparel bid in the total amount of $26,908.85, and to authorize the executive director to execute and deliver such agreement. No. Mary Beth, would you call the roll, please?
Aye. Yes.
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 Aye.
Great. Well, that passing unanimously. Thank you, Superintendent Armour. And now moving on to policy and Vice President Grau.
Yippee. Margaret, would you talk to us about the updated social media in terms of use policy?
Sure. My memo is on page 8 of the packet. As stated in the memo, we're working with Ansel Glink to update a couple of statements that are on the website. And at that time, we noticed some crossover into this policy. So we had them look at it now also. Julie Tappendorf from Ansel Glink is the one who has reviewed it and made the suggested changes. She also wrote our original policy in 2018. We actually haven't looked at it since 2018, and as you could imagine, social media has been battled out in the courts a couple of times since then. So her suggested changes are mainly results of court cases and findings of what's First Amendment rights and what's not. So I'm going to jump to page 13 where you can see the track changes. And actually under purpose, that third paragraph, it is missing a change that needs to be made. Exhibit A on page 16 of the packet is kind of a summary of the policy because that's what gets posted on our social media pages for patrons to see. So it's a summary of the areas before it. And she had made a change on that page and she didn't catch it on this first page, but Terry pointed it out to me. Thank you, Terry. So that third paragraph, a district social media site it should be a limited public forum, and then continues on. So it currently says is not intended to be a public forum. So it should be a limited public forum. The other change on that page is just updating my title, which has changed since 2018. Then on page 14, this is where the majority of the changes were on the commenting. So you could see her notes off to the side of why she had made those suggestions. Number 13 was crossed out and she didn't have a reason. Cindy did ask that, and we have the response. Sorry. So she said it could fall under protected speech, and she's recommended striking any restriction that might implicate the First Amendment. There is language in the policy advising users not to post anything private or personal, but if you prohibit it outright, your policy could be subject to challenge as prohibiting free speech. So she didn't want to prohibit it outright.
Just allude to it.
Then she's eliminating D because that belongs more in the employee policy, which is in our personnel policy manual. So I think it's duplicated. This policy is really for the public.
Margaret, I didn't
Yeah.
ask, did we double check that it was in the?
Yeah, we could double check, but also she's also reviewing that too. Yeah. I will. Yeah, I will, but I think it is in there. On page 15, that change is just making it more broad because it was just about Facebook then. So now it's all social media platforms. And then 16, again, is just kind of a summary of some of the changes that were made earlier in the policy, because this is the terms of use is what we publish on our social media sites. So
Is there a reason why, so there's threats to any person, number 5, threats to any person or organization, and or organization is
crossed
struck?
out.
Yeah.
I don't know specifically why. I can ask her if you would like and get back to you.
Seems
Okay.
like people shouldn't threaten. Is that?
I do too.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. We probably should have it looked at annually. Yeah, she even said that limited forum where it used to say is not a public forum, and now it's saying it's a limited public forum. That was decided in a lower court, but it's being looked at the Supreme Court now and should have an answer in the next few months. So it could change again. But it looks like, she said, I think it's going to be upheld as a limited public forum. Anything else?
Okay, we're not voting tonight.
Nope.
So you have time if you have other thoughts, and we'll get any additional feedback. It's probably illegal to threaten a person, but not an organization.
Yeah,
We'll find out, won't we?
people work in organizations, so, you know,
Yeah.
I was just curious about that.
Office,
Like,
that makes sense.
yeah, if somebody's like, I'm gonna blow up the park district,
Right.
like, I don't like that any better than I'm gonna blow up Melissa Holting, you know?
Yeah.
So,
People have a lot of rights, right?
yeah,
Mhm.
And more so that I agree with you. Some of these
Yeah.
things I know too, but, and then this is what we put on our website, so once it's on our website, we cannot take down any comments about anything unless it's covered in here.
Yeah.
That it's forbidden.
Thank you for doing that. I've been really waiting for some policies, so if anybody else has policies.
Diana, like Margaret said, she's working that. I don't know how far she'll get on that because there's a lot. There was a couple things. There's something we noticed that we needed to add to our. We didn't add the new affiliate, the affiliate agreement into the policy manual. So we were working on that this
And that needs updated? Yeah.
But I said to Maribeth, I said, all right, I'm putting this on my list to look through all these policies, to try to at least.
Put them on a
make sure
schedule.
That we're not having to change anything that's in that one is a rule to the park district on the ordinance manual.
Oh, yeah.
And
The big-
Diane's working on the personnel one, and the commissioner one is the one we've done the latest. And then the ordinance manual, the things in the parks, we change that, we add those when there's law, legal changes, so I feel like we're.
All right. I'll take it. Communications and correspondence. That goes back to you all. Anything?
Any new business?
Oh, I thought we could discuss the conference, see what people, any exciting ideas that people heard about, or their experiences, or I know I had a couple thoughts that I wanted to just. There was one guy on Thursday. He says, "Change is coming. Be the force to change, or be forced to change." I thought that was interesting. Has anyone ever heard of Padel courts? It's a Latin American squash and pickleball combination. Anyone ever heard of that? I don't know. He said 25 million people are playing it. Anyway, I thought work trends are might be going to 4 days a week, 32 hours. That's something, that they said park districts are not getting as many people as they used to, for employees. So it's something to, down the road, I'm sure. But it was conflict resolutions is a new must-have for have skill for managers. Lead with empathy, upskill the entire organization. Meaning, I think whatever your employees are at, give them more skills if you can. And one of the keynote guy said, hard work does not guarantee success, but puts you in the best position to achieve success. I thought that was kind of one of his better quotes. But I enjoyed the conference. We had our own star with Karen. She was on a panel. I thought she was the best of the three. And no, really, you were the clearest and most articulate. So, and the most interesting, to tell you the truth. So, it was.
Your microphone, right?
Yeah. So she was good, and
What's the most interesting director of finance?
Yeah. And I learned something. I learned a few things I didn't know we had done.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't remember getting a consultant, so that I don't remember it. It was good. The floor, the exhibit floor is a great thing. I've got stacks of papers for my friends over there, and I'll be passing that out, and like I always do. And what else? Friday night, I went to the Ansel Glink dinner. It was about 200 people. It was very noisy, except when people were eating. And but it was enjoyable. And let's see what else. And of course, the luncheon on Friday was fun. And what a great picture you took. That was a great picture. And I think you should send that to me. And maybe I'll make a print. And what else? It was. I ended up on Saturday. All right, so on Friday they have awards, and so one of the awards was I think kind of employee of the year. Not an executive director, and she was from the Buffalo Grove, and she ran the History Center, and I ended up She was cute, yeah, and so I ended up, for some reason, I sat down in the aisle for the keynote, and she's two people away from me. So she was, kind of inspirational, actually, talking to her, and I think she sat next to from Buffalo Grove also, the preschool lady. But it was just, it's a nice time to network, and I've met some people there. That you say hi to, and it's kind of fun. So anyway, I'd like to hear what anyone else experienced or whatever. Brian, it was your first time. Anything for you?
Yeah, it was great to see, have conversations with staff, not only Park Ridge staff, but other staff that I wouldn't have an opportunity to talk to. Thank you for inviting me to dinner. It was very nice. I did a couple of legal panels, and the one thing, most of the stuff we discuss normally, I think the IPRA does a great job of advocating for park districts and keeping us in the loop when some of these stuffs come around. I guess it was a nice little history lesson. 10,000 bills in Illinois get introduced a year, and only 1,000 actually become law. So, one thing that actually stood out was, I guess, the last decade or so, the state has been sweeping up large pots of money. One of them is what we use for grants. OSLED. And we've been fortunate enough that we've been exempt or pulled out of those sweeping. So we've always had an opportunity to apply for grants and have money for the parks. But I guess last year there was a very large sum that was given out, like $50 million. There's going to be another large sum this year, they were estimating, around the same amount. So it will be a very big, aggressive grant year. And then they said after this, there's no promises. So I thought that was one of the most interesting things I heard from the panels and stuff.
Promises.
Yep, that's what they said. But anyway, thanks to staff for walking me around. I know I kind of hitched my wagon on anyone I saw that worked at the park district and said, "Hey, show me around." But it was nice. It was nice to get out and see everyone. So thank you for the opportunity, everyone.
Yeah, I went and the lunch was the best this year. I don't know why. I thought the awards were meaningful. I don't know why I liked the lunch this year. Usually I'm like, oh, get me out of here. But I got Terry some information on tree diapers, which I'm really excited about. It's a horrible name, but they're going to give us a free one, and you only have to water the tree once, and it works osmosis, and yeah, so I'm very excited about that. I sent that to the city too.
So they need to work on their branding, but the device itself.
Yeah.
It sounded great. It sounded great. So the floor is always just, there's lots of ideas, and that's cool too. So yeah, and the energy is good. I recommend everybody go at least once, and you meet people and get ideas. We talked to the foundation person from Mount Prospect, and we're talking about how they make money and stuff. So yeah, very good. How about you guys?
Yeah, what'd
How'd
you
it go?
guys learn?
The staff usually does a report, and board report next time to give a little brief.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, well, thanks.
I have another.
just like
item
hearing
of
what
new
other people.
business.
This is
Make a
information on the tree
pickleball
diaper
report.
coming around.
Thank
Tree
you.
diaper coming around.
I would like to make a pickleball report. On the way here, I saw people playing pickleball in the dark with their own lighting source in Northeast Park.
Really?
Don't bust them. I gave them like 2 thumbs up. I'm like, what is that? A portable floodlight? So
And then you just
and
and
this wasn't, and this was not the first time this, and I saw people playing in January too. So
Anyone else?
Terry, just thanks for all the efforts with the ice skating. How many days? All right. It's more. Probably 3. Anyway, thanks for the effort.
And then Karen has something. So.
One bit of new business. It's really a heads up, a preview for next meeting. A year ago, if you'll remember, we did an electricity bid through NIMAC for our larger accounts. And 2 of the accounts we did only as a year term. It was Oakton and the Activity Center. And we did that because of the construction and also the possible solar project at the Activity Center. So we just wanted to do a year as we kind of sorted out how things were going. So we need, next meeting in the packet, I will have a memo and a resolution again and more information about the bid. And we're just going to go to bid for those 2 accounts. And we've decided to do just another year term because by that time we will know more if what we're doing solar for the Activity Center will be further along in the Oakton construction. And then we'll true up all of the terms again. So we'll have And for the 2025 bid, we'll have a full group of accounts to go to bid again. I just wanted to give you a heads up, and certainly if you have any questions before the meeting or would like to see anything before you see the board packet, just let me know and I can send you what we have.
So does that mean we are delaying the solar? And I don't care either way.
Yeah, no, so we're still doing what we talked about during the capital budget, which is we're not even going to think about the solar project at the activity center until after we open the bids for South Park and that we're comfortable with that. In fact, I just had a conversation with Jennifer Meunier about that today. But when Karen and I talked that through and we just kind of, talked logistically through the timing of how some of those things are going to play themselves out and the amount of time that those could supposedly take, she said, well, so we probably should not. Yeah, that makes sense. So that's where we ended up with this. So
just a preview. Don't miss next week's, the next meeting. It's super exciting.
Any other new business? Move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?